Hello. Welcome to the third part of the Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. A special thanks to my Patreon for supporting me. And if you want to support, you can join my Patreon for as low as $1. Thank you very much. Let's begin. At the beginning of this part we see that someone is slamming the door really hard in between the cabins. Dokya and everyone else is really. Sangha says, Dokya over here. They see a door is slightly open. Hyunsung says, okay, I'm going to open it. Door doesn't open and Hyunsung says, this one's broken too. Dokya says, but it's still the only we have a chance at opening. Dokya thinks, I could use my coins again and increase my strength this time, but who knows what will happen. Recklessly using my coins so early on could be dangerous. Dokya says, Hyunsung, use your skill. Dokya activates his character profile. Hyunsung says, by skill, you mean? Character profile appears saying, name, Hyunsung Lee, age, 28, supporting constellation, Master of Steel. Dokya thinks, thankfully, his supporting constellation and attribute are the same as the novel. Dokya says, you probably checked your skills when you opened your attributes window earlier. You're in the army, so there must be a skill you can use right now. Hyunsung says, well, I do have one, but I don't know how to use it. Dokya says, just imagine yourself using it. Hyunsung says, that's all it takes. Hyunsung tries to open the door and screams really loud. He become really strong and open the door. Hyunsung gets really happy and says, it worked. It really worked. System says, Hyunsung Lee has begun to trust you. Your understanding of Hyunsung Lee has increased. Dokya thinks, looks like the stigma, Great Mountain Push, successfully activated. He's so simple-minded. They starts to run. Dokya thinks, the steel door connected to subway cabin 3707 will break soon. But if my memory serves me right, the steel door isn't the problem. Dakabi says, gosh, I knew this would happen. Dakabi gets frustrated and says, I told you earlier, to stay put. Damn it, I'm not done preparing the next scenario. Han says, I knew it. I told you we should stay inside. Dakabi says, well, I guess I have no choice. You're very lucky human beings. System says, the second scenario has arrived. A scenario window appears saying, sub-scenario escape. Category, sub. Difficulty, E. Clear conditions, get across the collapsed bridge and enter Aksu Station. Time limit, 20 minutes. Reward, 200 coins. Penalty for failure, unknown. Dokya thinks, I knew it. Sangha says, Dokya, something doesn't feel right. It says collapsed bridge, but the bridge isn't. Dokya says, don't worry about it and just run. Hurry. Dokya thinks, Sangha is right. The bridge is still intact because we got off the train too early. In other words, the bridge definitely will collapse. It might seem underhanded, but it's impossible to clear this scenario without going around the rules. Dokya thinks, we're cutting it close, but I think we'll make it. Han says, what the hell is that? The big snake monster appears there. Dokya sees that and thinks, it's an ichthyosaur. No, a seer serpent. Or maybe a sea commander from its size. They all get scared and says, it's coming. The bridge is going to collapse. Run. We can make it across if we run. Dokya thinks, the ichthyosaur doesn't go after incarnations early on in the story. It probably showed up to destroy the bridge. We only have about 200 yards left. At this speed, we'll be able to cross the bridge before it collapses. Dakabi says, it's no fun if the game is too easy, is it? Dokya sees the Dakabi and says, oh no. Dakabi says, what's the fun in you getting away safely? Let's shake things up a bit. System says, the difficulty of the scenario has been adjusted. Difficulty E to D. The evil thoughts of the dead have returned. Black ether is rising from the surrounding earth. All the dead people become zombies. System says, demonic beings have been resurrected. Hyunsung crosses the bridge with Gilyoung. System says, you have entered Aksu Station. Dokya, Sangha and Han gets surrounded by the zombies. Dokya says, everyone get down. Sea Serpent breaks the bridge. They all gets a little bit of injuries. Dokya sees Sangha and Han. Dokya thinks, the bridge has collapsed. I'd know something like this might happen. But I hadn't expected Myongo and Sangha to survive. Gilyoung and Hyunsung make it to safety in one piece. Dokya says, now what? A god says, someone has received the blessing of a constellation. The constellation's blessing has activated Deus Ex Machina in this scenario. Dokya sees that and thinks, Deus Ex Machina. Sangha says, Dokya, in my head, this thing, suddenly. Dokya thinks, Deus Ex Machina, a power that lets a constellation directly intervene in the scenario at a great cost. Did Sangha's supporting constellation intervene in order to save her? But this kind of intervention was rare even in TWSA. What kind of a constellation could be supporting her? Activate character profile. System says, this person's profile cannot be browsed using character profile. The character does not have a registered character profile. Dokya thinks, why can't I browse her profile with my skill? Does she have a special constellation support her? Or maybe she has the mental barrier skill. But there's no way she could already have that skill. She says, Dokya. Behind you. A punch comes toward Dokya. Dokya goes flying. Dokya thinks, I guess this isn't the time to be lost in thought. Tier 9 Humanoid Demon. A mutant species infected by the black ether. Once normal humans, humanoid demons are not different from zombies, but they can be quite dangerous if their host happens to be someone who is powerful. And of all people, the zombie is Namwoon Kim. Dokya says, it just had to be him. System says, personal skill omniscient reader's viewpoint activated. This character does not possess a consciousness. Deactivated omniscient reader's viewpoint. Dokya says, damn it. I had a feeling it wouldn't work. All we can do now is to get across the bridge of even numbers somehow. But there are 3 of us right now. Me, Sangha, and Myongo. One of us has to stay behind and die. Dokya says, Sangha, get. Han picks up Sangha. Sangha says, let go of me. Let go. Dokya. Dokya. Han starts to run and cross the bridge. Dokya gets angry and says, he's leaving me behind. Myongo, that bastard. The constellation, the secretive plotter, is impressed by your foolishness. The constellation, the demonic judge of fire, is touched by your selflessness. You have been gifted 100 coins. Dokya activates character profile. System says, the person's profile cannot be browsed using character profile. Dokya thinks, if I'm not mistaken, that stigma, one-legged swift foot, belonged to the constellation limping trickster. Dokya thinks, that constellation does not endow its incarnations with the mental barrier stigma. Stigma, a special O-power endowed to incarnations by their constellations. And since there's now why Myongo could have that kind of skill, the reason my skill didn't work on Sangha and Myongo was that. How stupid of me. It's because they're not characters that appear in TWSA. It's obvious when you think about it. All the zombies surrounds Dokya. Dokya is barely hanging on and thinks, come on, think. I can't cross the bridge alone. What if I grab a demon to cross the bridge with me? No, it's probably not going to work. Only 15 minutes left until the scenario ends. Dakabi says, wow, you're doing pretty well. Okay. Is there any constellation who wishes to bless this power incarnation? Oh my. Nobody. How unfortunate. Dokya thinks, my body can't handle much more of this. Dokya reaches the edge of bridge and about to fall in that water. Dokya thinks, I might actually die this time. Dokya thinks, damn it. If only I had just one combat skill. A skill window appears. Dokya thinks, it wouldn't be this hard. System says, personal skill bookmark activated. A really big book appears behind Dokya. Dokya thinks, bookmark. System says, activating character bookmarks. Available bookmark slots, 3. Loading the list of bookmarks that CNAB activated. System says, list of the bookmarked characters. Delusional Demon Namwoon Kim understanding 25. Steel Blade Hyunsung Lee understanding 35. Empty slot. Dokya thinks, I've read over 3,000 episodes of TWSA but I've never read about this skill anywhere. But I still instinctively understood how it worked. Dokya says, activate bookmark number 1. Dokya thinks about Namwoon saying, I'm overflowing with power. The new world needs new rules. System says, activating bookmark number 1. The activation time has been shortened due to the low level of the bookmark skill. Activation time 1 minute. Your understanding of the character is low, so the character's skills were only partially activated. Dokya activators Grimdark Awakening level 1. Dokya kills Namwoon with a single hit. Namwoon says, I don't want to die. System says, your understanding of Namwoon Kim has increased. Deactivated bookmark number 1. Time remaining, 10 minutes 11 seconds. Dokya gets surrounded by the zombies and says, "Wow, I'm so exhausted." Seriously. Dokya thinks, he's late but he should be showing up any moment now. A big explosion happens behind the zombies. All zombies turns toward the explosion. Someone is killing the zombies easily. Dokya smiles and says there he is. We see someone wearing a long coat and walking like real awesome man come there. He is really strong looking. And he asks Dokya, who the hell are you? Dokya thinks, I'm supposed to go up against this guy. I don't stand a chance against him. Character profile. System says, personal skill character profile activated. There is too much information about this character, converting character profile to character summary. Character summary. Name, Junghyuk Yu. Attribute, the Regressor, 3rd round mythical, pro gamer rare. Personal skill, Eye of the Sage level 8 and a lot more skills. Junghyuk grabs Dokya from the neck and says, how are you still alive? Dokya thinks, the first way of surviving the apocalypse. This man, who is strangling me, is living proof of the first method. Junghyuk Yu, the Regressor. This is the man who will kickstart the tragedy that will turn the world upside down. Hyunsung tries to look but says, it's not working. I can't see a thing, I think there's a barrier like there was in the subway. Junghyuk says, name. Dokya says, what? Junghyuk says, what is your name? Dokya thinks, he's so full of himself. He's definitely acting the part of a protagonist. Dokya tells him his name. Junghyuk says, what a strange name. Dokya says, I get that a lot. Junghyuk punches Dokya in the stomach. And says, you have a strong body. I see you've already figured out how to use the coins. Dokya says, yeah, I'm assuming you also. Dokya thinks, damn it, how is he so strong when we've only cleared one main mission and we're just now clearing a sub-mission? What a monster. Junghyuk says, don't waste your breath. Just answer the questions I ask you, got it? Dokya thinks, this is the worst. I was hoping this wouldn't happen. In the early chapters, Junghyuk is the most dangerous character in the work of TWSA. He's lost his humanity after having regressed 3 times. Already. The Junghyuk now won't hesitate to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Junghyuk says, well. Dokya says, fine, show me some respect. Junghyuk punches him again and says, why should I? Dokya blocks the punch and says, sorry, but you're younger than me, pro gamer Junghyuk Yu. Dokya smiles and says, so you're the one who should show me some respect. System says, Junghyuk Yu has become cautious of you. Junghyuk says, do you know who I am? Dokya says, of course. I work for a game company. Dokya thinks, that's a lie. Junghyuk Yu is but a fictional character to me existing in TWSA. That is, until now. Dokya says, you're pretty famous, I used to be a fan of yours. Dokya thinks, and his fame was just a setting in the Neville. But I'm not lying when I'm saying that I used to be a fan of his. I liked you, hated you, resented you. And cheered for you. I was with you throughout your 3,000 episode journey. Junghyuk says, a fan, I haven't heard that in a while. I'll forgive you for your impudence. But that won't change anything. I can see that. I have only one question for you. How did you survive the subway? Dokya thinks, I knew he would ask me this. Dokya says, if I tell you, will you let me live? Junghyuk says, that depends on your answer. Dokya thinks, liar. I can tell just by looking at his face, I'm not the only reader of TWSA for nothing. What can I say to make this damn regressor let me live? System says, your understanding of Junghyuk Yu has increased. You already have a high understanding of this character. System says, you have unlocked level 2 of your personal skill, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Activate your personal skill. Dokya starts read the mind of Junghyuk. Junghyuk is thinking, only Hyunsung Lee and Namwoon Kim were supposed to survive. But Namwoon Kim is dead and other people survived instead. How did they manage to survive? And who is this man? I need information. I deem him a threat, I will kill him. Dokya thinks, can I read his mind? Like I could with Namwoon. Dokya smiles and says, how I managed to survive is. Junghyuk says, you cleared the scenario by killing insects. Dokya says, I was lucky. I was able to spot the kid with insects because he fell due to the explosion in the car in front of us. Junghyuk thinks, the future has changed. Junghyuk says, the explosion, the insects. Dokya thinks, it will come as a shock to him. There was supposed to be a battle to the death in subway car 3807 and only Namwoon Kim and Hyunsung Lee should have survived. Junghyuk thinks, did I cause this? Was it because I started out by killing them with an explosion, unlike in my previous runs? Still something's not right. He's too calm for a newbie. The world has turned upside down and he's taking it in stride. Abnormally so. He must be the one who killed Namwoon Kim. He's much more than just useful, he's dangerous. Dokya says, if you're done with your questions, can you let me go? Let's move on to Aksu Station together. We're running out of time. Junghyuk says, not so fast. Everything fits too perfectly. And activates his skill. Dokya sees that and thinks, it's Junghyuk's SS grade skill. The Eye of the Sage. Dokya thinks, the Eye of the Sage not only allows you to see someone's attributes window, but also someone's hidden information. It's the highest grade detection skill. I've been wondering why he wasn't using it. No, maybe this is for the best. I don't know what my attributes are or what skills I have. Even if Junghyuk J finds out what they are. If I could know as well. System says, personal skill, the fourth wall activated. The fourth wall has detected the detection skill, the Eye of the Sage. Junghyuk eyes starts to hurt. And thinks, what? System says, personal skill, the fourth wall has blocked the Eye of the Sage. Junghyuk gets really angry and says, what are you? There are only 2 minutes and 14 seconds are left until the scenario ends. The third part of the Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. Please subscribe and like, and if you want me support financially you can join my Patreon only for $1. Patreon and Discord links are in the description if you want support me. And a special thanks to all my Patreons for supporting me. Thanks for watching.